Hello everyone, it is Devil here, and I thought I would talk about Genesis. Now, I have played around with this format a bit, and I do think it's quite fun, but I've been really hesitant to make content on it because I did not know how much of a demand there was for it. But seeing how popular it was at this past weekend's YCS, which I sadly could not attend, I thought I would give it a shot talking about it. And I would talk about three decks I am considering for the format. So the first one, this one right here, is obviously a deck I have talked about a lot on this channel, GMX. This is just put alongside a bunch of other good Dino stuff. So obviously we have the Jurax, we have a Ground Xeno and Xeno Meteorus package for Wombo combos. We have the babies to pop the babies, UCTs, and in the extra, we have an Evozar package of Lagia, Dolka, and Lars. We have a Logical as a Slayer target. We have the Jurak package and the GMX package. So this can do like very funny combos. Uh, Works really good with Ultimate Slayer since you'll be happy to send most of these things except for the Xyz, which is why I put a Mary in there. But you'd be happy to send like an Astero, one of the GMX fusions for like banishing material. Overall, I do quite like this list. Side's pretty standard. 3 Lancia, 2 Kaijus, 3 Slayer, 3 Mistakens, 3 Cosmic, and 1 Impact. I find going second, this card is not very good, but going first, it's like really helpful because it's a board wipe that doesn't use one of your meteors, which is nice. But let me just show you like a quick wombo combo this deck can do. Okay, so here's the hand. It's pretty good. It's a Babysaurus, UCT, Granzino, Stego, and Miscellaneousaurus, so about as good of a hand as we can ask. So we're going to lead off with Granzino, which gets the Xenomysaurus, pops the baby. That does this. And we get the Return Dino, which can bridge into our GMX. A lot of these archetypes can bridge into each other, and we can go into Alagia. Now we're just doing GMX stuff. So we send that in the Xenometeorus, because we can bring that back, normal Stego, and go for Astero. Now Mist can banish to bring back Megalo. We can cycle Megalos to get an Astero Engrave, fuse into that one, UCT, and yeah. Okay, now the part where I can show off the end board. This is pretty solid. So we have one Jurak effect, which can cycle into another with Megalo. We have 2 negates off the Logia, a targeting pop that gets us a GMX or a dinosaur, so this can get us follow up, a Book of Moon, and a special summon negate on this, I believe. Plus, this will get us another Meteor Summon if our opponent special summons 4 times. So we have multiple board wipes, plus a pop, 2 negates, and a Book of Moon. That gets us 1 card of follow up. It's a pretty good end board. Then again, you really have to depend on what you get off of this and what you get off return to like hopefully finish up and kill. But I mean, that's like realistic. Overall, I really like this deck, and I will definitely be playing around with it in the format. Okay, up next we have Exosister, which recently got some support. It got the brand new Carmel and Betrayal, which are both fantastic cards for the deck. And also, it can play Shifter. Alongside of it, I'm playing a really decent sized Spirit package. Uh, Mainly because the Spirit monsters are so really good, especially this one. Genuinely crazy. This card can search pretty much anything in the deck except a Shifter. But yeah, overall, just 3 Martha, 3 Ellises, 2 of every other name, 3 Betrayal, 3 Packs, 3 Tachyons, and 3 Ascensions. This could be swapped with something else, but I just don't know what. One Carpdivium, 1 Vitus, 1 Returnia. You can do that because Carmela sets from Decker Grave. Then in the side, then in the extra, we're playing 3 Magnifica, 2 Carmel, 2 Michaelis, 2 Caspitel, and one of the other two. 104 for the 7th Tachyon target, along with Garuba, Menglong, and Marilogical for Ultimate Slayer targets. And the side, pretty standard 3 Lancia, 3 Kaiju, 3 Mistaken, 3 Slayer, and 3 D-Fissures, because 6 copies of Shifter is better than 1. I just have like a very standard Spirit starting combo to show off for this. Okay, so this is just a Spirit plus a discard. You normal that, get the Ichiki. Ichiki can normal herself, go for a Martha, overlay into Caspatel. Now do the Martha half, go into Carmel for protection, search Betrayal, go Betrayal, search these two, discard, special LS, normal the Stella, go into Caspatel. Now you can make Magnifica, set the trap, and this is 2 banishes, 2 summons that can float, a Carmela that can switch the effects of normal spells and monsters, I believe, and Betrayal, which can trigger the Exorcister to summon off of Vitus. Plus, you have a Martha for follow up, and the Caspatel to search. Overall, decent end board. They can do a lot more depending on the hand, but that's just, again, off of a 1-card Spirit. Really like the Spirits in this because this card, just being able to search anything in the deck, can get your extra normals to make more Xyz. It's just phenomenal. Lastly, we have a newer archetype coming out in Mesa of Martos in a few weeks. We have the Call of the Haunted retrains, which is a very fun zombie deck. I am choosing to mix it along with the Eldritch cards because I think they go hand in hand. They work really well together, and also these are just incredibly good at making rank 6 zombies. Pilgrim Reaper is a rank 6 zombie that can dump uh, Eldritch cards. Overall, I think this deck list is very interesting. There's a Mercurium in here that you could potentially make turn 3. I don't know if it's possible to make it turn 1. I'm still trying to figure out the combos. But overall, I really think this list is interesting and definitely worth playing around with. You have 3 of the Pumpkin. This is your main starter. 3 Snake Hairs. This can also be a starter. 1 Great Mammoth, because this is just a pretty good interaction. We don't play Army of the Haunted because I don't think that card is worth playing, if I'm being completely honest. 3 Call of the Forgotten, just sets to be called by the grave. 3 Ectoplasmic Fortification. This searches any of these along with Call of the Forgotten. 1 Vortex of Time because it's funny. 3 Call of the Haunted. 1 Deadly Zombie Breath because it's a decent thing to have, especially if you can get it into the grave. 3 Changshi. This card's really nice because it can dump any zombie. So you can dump something like an Eldritch or Great Mammoth of the Netherworld, which is decent. And then you have 3 Eldritch, 3 Elixir, 3 Cursed Lands, 3 Conquistador, 3 Scarlet Sanguine, 2 Exalted Golden Lands, 1 Hakiro. In the extra, we have Crimson Knight, which is a 5 you can make off of these. And it's a guy that kind of infinitely floats. Whenever he's destroyed during the next standby phase, he can sound himself back. So if they don't have non-destruction removal, this guy can always come back during the standby phase. Pilgrim Reaper to mill cards. Wallow, just as something that can remove things from the grave. 3 of the Pumpkin, the Great Ghost King. This is a searcher for anything that mentions Call of the Haunted. So these are all searchable. And you can detach materials to return cards on the field. I think it's detach 1 to return 2 cards on the field to the hand. 3 of the Undying Legion. This can be made on top of any rank 6 zombies. So Pilgrim Reaper, Wallower, and Pumpkin can all make this. And this card can detach 2 materials, or if they only have Xyz materials, detach 1 to attach something monster on field to this card. 1 Mercurium because it is possible to make it in this deck. It's Fallen Angel of the Golden Land and Odalish the Mad Golden Lord, because this gives a line to this. And then just the Ultimate Snare targets. In the side, we have pretty centered apart from one thing, and that one thing is the Necro Banishing Zombie World. This is a potential line you could do, where if you're on a deck that cannot win under Zombie World, during your combo, instead of dumping something like a Great Mammoth of the Netherworld off of Chang-Chi, you could do a Necro World Banishing, which can quick effect banish itself from field or grave to activate Zombie World from the deck, hand or deck. So even if you draw this, it's fine. It's a very, I don't know, I kind of like this like small package because it is like very easy to weave into the combo. Overall, let me show you two-ish kind of combos I have found for the deck. Okay, so this is a one card that shows off the Call of the Haunted stuff. It just utilizes the Pumpkin card. This is the one card you want to be starting with. You can start with Snake Hairs or Ectoplasmic Fortification, but you kind of want to go with those later into the combo, because Snake Hair can discard itself to search that. We can bounce the Call of the Haunted back. Go Fortification set 2. Set the last Call of the Haunted, rank up, and that's it. So this end board has both of these, which one's a pop and one's a negate, and it can't be used as an extra deck summon material. Along with one of these being brought back by Call of the Haunted, can be popped because of the field spell, and this can attach a face-up monster to itself as material. So this is roughly 4 points of interaction off of one card, which is pretty solid. Now let me show you a more Eldritch focused opening hand. Okay, this hand's like pretty alright. It's got Stare of the Snake Hair, which shows how it can be a starter. One Eldritch, one Call of the Forgotten, and two Hikuro of the Golden Lands. It starts Snake Hair to get Fortification. Fortification for Pumpkin. Unfortunately, these don't have the art quite yet. Now we can do this. Dump the Mammoth. Overlay for a 6. Get the Quickly spell, which is funny. Send itself and a cure. Eldritch can send itself and a cure to pop the Call of the Haunted. Then Call of the Haunted can set 3 because it can set from deck and grave. Eldritch can send one of them to bring itself back. Set 2. Overlay into the 7. And during end step, Akira can set a new trap. So this is 2 Call of the Haunteds with targets for Snake Hair and Mammoth, which is a pop and a negate plus extra deck lock for that card. This can attach a face-up monster to itself. Vortex of Time is a replacement effect that will either banish one of our cards or one of their cards or their entire field, depending on how they roll. No, it's a coin flip. Yes, forgive me. But you have to have Call of the Haunted. You have to go through at least one of your Call of the Haunteds first. This is also a pop. This is a bounce to hand, and this is a banish. Overall, it's a pretty decent end board. These decks do work together pretty well, and I am excited to see how they perform. Overall, I'm happy to see the success of Genesys at a pretty big YCS. I watched a couple of the feature matches, and it looked like fun, and I will try to make somewhat regular content on the format. These are just 3 lists I'm personally planning on playing around with. This one is the most iffy. It honestly depends on how affordable it is, but luckily that set should be like really affordable, purely because the dominuses are in there. Honestly, I might make a video talking about how just amazing that set is for not only advanced but also really good for Genesys as well. Anyways, if you've enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.